Hello, 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 and the warmest of welcomes to today's video. For those who haven't... Hello, 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 and the warmest of welcomes to today's video. For those who haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Nick, happy to have you here. Those who have seen my face before, thank you so much for joining me again. Hope you enjoy my videos. I put out videos roughly 2 to 3 times a week on a range of different topics, anywhere from fashion, slightly more personal topics. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please do head down, hit subscribe and turn on notification bell. I love chatting with you all. I'm all about living life loud, and what that means to me is being your authentic self, being proud to be you, and just celebrating who you are. Celebrating yourself and, of course, celebrating others. This is now a common theme, isn't it? Now, I recently did a video on the Coach Empire Carryall, and why I felt put off by it due to the overexposure to it in terms of content unboxing it, people reviewing it, the photos and videos on social media platforms of people using it, and I just felt in a very short space of time like I was overexposed to it. So I was slightly put off, and it was a bag that I was actually interested in because aesthetically and from a use case it actually fits into my sense of style. It fits with how I use a bag, what I like to see in a bag. So I did that video and I got a really interesting response to it because I had a lot of individuals that agreed with me. I had a number of individuals who said, look, I've bought the bag and I'm loving it and the quality is great, etc. And I think you would really actually quite like it if you were to see it in the flesh, which is completely fair. So next time I'm in London, I will try and see if I can see one at least, because I have no doubt, and I never doubted in the video, that the quality would be good, that it would be a well-made bag. There was never a doubt in my mind on that. My criticisms were for other reasons. And then I had a few individuals who seemed upset with me for sharing that opinion. But look, ultimately, my channel, my opinion, and I stand behind what I said. I agree with what I said. But like I just mentioned, I will go and see one in the flesh if I have the opportunity to do so when I'm next in London, which is where I'm most likely to be able to find one. But I thought, given that that's my opinion, I shared in the video what I would maybe see as an alternative. But I thought, why don't I just quickly jump on here, and for those who have been put off the bag like I have, but maybe still looking for a similar style or size of bag, what some of the alternatives might be. If you've bought that bag and you're loving it, but you're thinking, actually, I'd like another variation, something that sits within the same use case, but is an alternative, then this could be a great video for you. So I want to just share a few options that I think are out there, various price points. You know, I'm not your accountant. I don't know what your price point is. So I thought I'd throw in some that are more in line with the Coach, one that is almost like double, and then another one that is significantly more expensive. Now, of course, the first one that I can mention from a significantly increased price point perspective would be the Margo. That's what it's been compared to in many, many videos, mine included, where I mentioned I think Coach took a cue from the popularity of that bag style, and I think did a great job with that because of how popular it's been, because they were able to introduce something similar at a very, very different price point. So that will capture individuals who love the style of the Margo, but maybe don't want to spend the money, can't spend the money, own the Margo, but don't necessarily want to use it all the time due to its cost. So maybe want something that's similar that they can use more day to day and don't worry about quite so much. So there's lots of reasons why I think that could be a good alternative. I'm not a huge lover of the Margo, if I'm honest. Everyone was pitching it as, is it the new Birkin? It's a completely different bag to the Birkin. I don't think that it is similar in any way. I think they are completely different bags. I think they're trying to be different things. And they're fulfilling different needs, to be honest. And I'm someone who likes both of these styles of bag, but I don't see how they were competitors. Maybe in terms of being an it bag, fair enough. But I don't think it's the new Birkin, so to speak. I think it was doing its own thing, but that's my opinion on that. So the Margo, look, we've heard about that enough. So there's your first one. Now let's go to the price point that puts us in a similar ballpark to the Coach Carryall. And I mentioned this one in the video, and it is the Aspinal of London London tote. Now, there are a couple of things that are different about this bag to the Coach bag. It doesn't have a zip at the top, which I know a lot of people might really want. And also it doesn't come with a shoulder strap. So those are the two things. It's also much more structured. However, if you're looking for a large bag, I don't think you can go wrong. So here's one of mine. This is in, oh, what's the pink? Oh, I cannot remember. I don't know. I can't remember, but this is a fabulous bag. Jean, in a recent video comment, expressed a concern for the handles of my London totes because of how they have to be stored. It's one of the reasons why I want to change this unit, Jean. But, you know, I think they snap back really well. The quality of this bag is impeccable. It's so durable. The capacity is incredible. And that's why I say, although it's not a direct, you know, like for like, I think if you're wanting just a large bag, let's say you want to use it as a work bag or an overnight bag or something, the capacity on this is amazing. And because of the shape, it's super practical. It's fairly high. The sides are fairly... The sides are fairly high. And also the width is quite significant. I think it's 43 centimeters on the base. But the shape, it's almost squared off. So the shape makes it super practical and you can fit so much in this. Interior pockets, zip pockets. There's also a zip pocket in the center, which is quite large. So if you're carrying a laptop or personal papers or something along those lines, you could put that in there. So I think this is a great alternative if you're looking for something that's maybe more on the structured side. So not a direct like for like, but similar. Another one that I think is also fairly similar, but probably a little bit more structured at first, but I think will soften over time, the Strathberry tote. And I'm talking about the larger Strathberry tote, which I think is about £695, £700. The London tote ranges between £700 and £750, depending on the finish you get it in, by the way. But again, great capacity, has a different closure. I love the closure. It almost has a single handle, and then you have this bar that goes over the top of the handle. I think it's really unique. It makes it secure. It comes with a shoulder strap, great capacity, a slightly more traditional shape. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great. And I do think it would soften over time. The more you use it, I do feel that that would possibly slouch over time. Now, what that would do for the mechanism, whether it would be as tight if it starts to slouch, I don't know. That would be my only thought. So maybe they will have reinforced it in such a way that it doesn't slouch as much. But if you love that style, if you want something that's a little bit, looks a little bit more formal, I think this is a great option. And the price point is great for Strathberry. Now, I could have mentioned the Bayswater, but I think the Bayswater, although is a big bag, I think is smaller than the Carryall. So where did I think I would go with this? The Mulberry Picadilly. So the Piccadilly was a bag that was introduced many years ago, and it was more of a overnight version of the Bayswater, but had the same look to it. It was just a larger version. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. Hello. And they have re-released the Piccadilly, and it is about £1,750. So you're adding a decent amount on top of what you would spend on the Coach Carryall, but maybe this is more comparable to the 48 because size-wise, that's more what you're looking at. But I love the fact that this looks like a Bayswater, which is a beautiful, classic bag, absolutely stunning, but just a larger version. It's got the postman's lock, which is the classic Mulberry mechanism. It's got all of the design cues that I absolutely love from Mulberry. The only thing I would say is I wish they brought it out in some more fun variations, some more fun colours. There is one that I wish I'd bought from Handbag Clinic, which is now sold, that was in a cloud blue mock snakeskin. Oh, beautiful. And it was available for such a long time. I mentioned it on this channel. I never bought it, and I regret not buying that. I think that would have been a great bag. So I'm hoping that maybe over time, depending on the popularity of it, they might bring it out in some slightly more fun finishes like they do the Bayswater itself. But we shall see. I think this is a great alternative, very chic, very beautiful, and still I feel a reasonable price point. But yeah, a great piece. And the last one, purely dependent on your budget. And I think this is one you might have to go pre-loved for, but I think the pre-loved market's fantastic. What about an Hermes Bolide in a large size? So I'm talking something like an Hermes Bolide 45. I found one, I think it was 3,900, a black Bolide 45. This, I think, has a very similar aesthetic. Practicality-wise would be incredibly similar. You know, it obviously has the cachet of being an Hermes piece, dependent on where you stand on which brands you love to buy and own, and which you feel you personally connect with. But I think this could be a great option for you if you're looking for something that is in that sort of top tier, so to speak, in terms of brands and brand recognition and brand value. But you want the practicality of it. Because like I said, I don't see the Birkin as an alternative for this. So a Birkin 40, for example, I don't see that as an alternative. I don't think they're running the same race. So when I was thinking about it, I thought actually the Bolide could be a great option here. Now I know that there's a 28 in the Carryall, there's a 40 and there's a 48. And the Bolide came and comes in various sizes. So I do think you have options here. So you could, depending on which size of the Carryall you're looking for, also match it with a Bolide version. Now, of course, price point, completely different. But as I said, if you're looking for that style, but maybe you don't feel that you connect to Coach, maybe you've got the Carryall and you've decided that you want a very uber luxe version of it, but maybe the Row Margo isn't for you. You don't connect with Mulberry as a brand. You really want an Hermes piece, then that could be a great alternative. So just throwing it out there for you. So there we have it, everyone. Those are my thoughts. What do you think of my alternatives? Do you think I've missed the mark here? Do you agree with some of these alternatives? Could you see them working? Thank you so much as always for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye now. Mwah.